Today on The Silly Kitchen, it's all about baked oats. I know you've seen a million recipes for baked oats. I myself have posted several baked oats recipes with different flavors and different variations. Today, after many different variations, many different trials and tribulations in the kitchen because I hate baking, but I love the oat version of it, so I've made it a lot of times. I'm sharing with you my favorite, absolute favorite way of doing baked oats. So first, can I just start by talking about sort of the baseline and the fundamentals of baked oats? Because really, a new recipe for baked oats typically just changes the flavor. I think that's where I'm at with it. So the fundamentals being the core ingredients that every single recipe probably has. And the way that I make it is 1 cup of instant oats to 1 cup of liquid. I need 1 tablespoon of baking soda in there as well. And then the rest is really up to you in terms of additional flavors, sweeteners, maybe some texture in there. So that is your start, 1 to 1 and 1 tablespoon of baking soda. That is kind of your core. But that's gonna be a little bit bland and boring, I think. A little bland and boring. We want some fun and flavor in our oats. Even though they're healthy, they don't have to taste like nothing. So the number one thing that I kind of want to talk about is the liquid part. You can use milk as your liquid. That is great. A lot of people love milk. There are a lot of people that are allergic to dairy or are off dairy, or maybe you're vegan. So almond milk is a nice alternative, and I actually really like using it in my baked oats. If you've never done it, chocolate almond milk or cashew milk or whatever nut milk you want to use works really great to add a little flavor. And because the chocolate version of almond milk has some sugar and sweetening in it, you don't need to add any other sweetener, honey, or sugars, or add any other calories to your baked oats. That's one option that I wanted to talk about. If you're going with a regular almond milk, let's say it's no sugar, that's French, sorry, unsweetened. If you're doing an unsweetened almond milk, you might crave a little bit of sweetness or sugar in your baked oats. So that's where you can decide if you want to use some artificial sweetening, some honey, maybe some chocolate chips in there, and that will give you a little bit more of that flavor you might be looking for. So one version that I really like doing was apples and cinnamon, or you can do pears or peaches and cinnamon, and that's a really nice flavor combination, and you're getting a little bit of texture with some really nicely finely chopped fruit in there. Blueberries work really well too. If you're using frozen blueberries, thaw them out first so that they don't get too much liquid in your baked oats and then you just have mush. That's a good tip. Frozen fruit, thaw it, get some of that liquid out, and then use it in your oats. Instant oats have worked very well for me for this type of recipe. And a lot of the times on the bag it says instant or 5-minute or quick oats or something like that. But I recently picked up a different bag of oats. So this one says large flaked oats, and they really are larger and flakier. So I feel like they've got a little more substance to them, but the problem is because they're not instant, they don't soak up that liquid fast enough. So I did a couple trials so that you don't have to, and I still use these oats with the same measurement, 1 to 1. And what I did is I just let them sit in the milk for about 20 minutes before I added all my other ingredients, and then let those oats have the time to soak up that liquid before putting them in the oven, so it's not so soupy and mushy. It works really well, and I really like, sorry, that was noisy. And I really like these ones in comparison to the instant if you have that time to let them soak up. So now to my favorite version of these baked oats. I'm gonna use my big flaky oats. I'm gonna let it sit. I'm gonna mash up 2 beautiful bananas, nice and ripe, nice and sweet, so I don't need any more sugars. I'm gonna use 2 cups of chocolate almond milk, and I'm gonna add in about a cup of melted crunchy peanut butter. This combination is my absolute favorite It tastes like all the beautiful things of banana bread, but it is made with oats. You feel healthier eating it. Now I've done these in a casserole dish or in some sort of a pan. You just have to spray it and line it with a little bit of cooking oil before you bake it. But once I started putting these into little cupcake tins with the little paper on it, my life was changed. It stores better in the refrigerator individually. They're easier to grab and go because it's not cake. So there are gonna be parts of these baked oats that are gonna be a little bit more crumbly, that aren't sticking together as much, especially if you're not using sugar, white or brown sugar. It's not gonna stick together. So you'll notice these healthier versions of these baked oats aren't gonna have that kind of cakey thing going on. So putting them into these little muffin cups made me so happy that I could just grab them and go on the road, and easy peasy, I could put a quick 10 seconds in the microwave and have them with my coffee for breakfast. And ta-da, they work out wonderfully. If you need to know how long to cook them, it's 350 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes, depending how big you fill up your muffin cup. I'm not a baker. Can you tell these words are not coming easily for me? But to show you, this is what they turn out like. Let me see if I can focus in on that for you. Da, 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 da. They are perfect 2 or 3 bites. I keep them in the fridge, I don't know, 4 or 5 days at least. 2 cups of oats and 2 cups of liquid makes 12 muffins. So perfect for a family for a couple of days. Oh, and the other thing with the muffin tin is that you could do 1 cup of oats with apple and cinnamon and make 6 muffins, and then you could do 1 cup of oats with chocolate and peanut butter, and you have 2 different kinds going in the oven at the same time, right? Did I just blow your mind? Okay, maybe that's obvious and it's not as exciting for you, but for someone who doesn't like to bake, to be able to make 2 different kinds and have them all week and choose my flavor, that's just being productive and, working smart, not hard. If you've stuck around to this part of the end of the episode, thank you for humoring me and my obsession with baked oats. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy one. I hope to see you again on The Silly Kitchen. Hit that subscribe button. More fun recipes coming your way. Thanks for watching.